Hi, I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation, and the topic we're going to discuss today is 5 communication techniques for just marriage. That doesn't mean for a just marriage. Hi, welcome back. I'm Paul Friedman, and the topic is 5 communication techniques that are only for marriage. And some people ask why. And it's because marriage is like no other venue in the world. You know what a venue is. It's like if you go into the drugstore, that's a venue. If you're going to a wedding, that's a venue. A venue is sort of your situation. And marriage is a very unique venue. There's really nothing like it. And so the venue of marriage is special because if you think about it, marriage is based on love, for happiness. And there's no other venue that's like that. And so the way we communicate in our marriage has to be adapted to the particular venue. It's just like if you go to a funeral, everyone's speaking in very hushed tones, right? And if you go to the school to take care of your kids' curriculum with the teacher, it's a different venue and you're serious. So the venue of marriage dictates if we're paying attention to what marriage is all about, and it's not your fault if you're not, because we're not taught about marriage. I wasn't either. So I used to be a divorce mediator. In 2001, a couple asked me to help them heal their marriage instead of dissolve it. And so I said, why not? They said, why not? The marriage counselor was very good. This was in San Diego County. They considered their marriage dead. So we had nothing to lose. So I thought about marriage and I thought, I never asked this question before I got married, and I was divorced at the time. And the question is, why do we get married in the first place? And the reason that no one asked that question is because marriage has become just what you do. You fall in love, you date, you court, you get married, or you live together first. So I guess that's okay. I mean, whatever. Everyone has different standards. Some people nowadays are starting to revert back to not living together, and actually that works out fine if you understand more about marriage. But we all get married in order to be happier. We all get married in order to cultivate that love that we have discovered with our soulmate. So here are 5 communication techniques that really are just for marriage. Number 1, be ultra attentive. Now, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to give you something you can relate to. Do you remember how you were when you were first dating? Okay. And every time I've asked that question, because I worked with people for 8 years developing what is a scientific teachings now for marriage, and to check everything out. I worked with people for 8 years before I wrote the first 2 books that I have. I have Lessons for a Happy Marriage, and we have Breaking the Cycle. And you could go to Amazon and check out what people say about those. And we also have a 12-week course, which is wonderful. If your marriage is super stressed, then you probably need that. But I worked with people to make sure the science, the principles, everything tied together and turned into a way to really help a marriage. So being ultra attentive, as you were when you first got together, is expressing to your soulmate, let's call them your soulmate, that's what they are. It's expressing to them that you care. That's caring. Is what? It's an act of love. It's an expression of love. And so we do that. We're ultra attentive because we're with our soulmate, for God's sake. This is the most important person in your life. Way more important than your boss, way more important than your parents, even more important than your children. I know some people like to argue that. It's more important to take care of your children than take care of your spouse. But your spouse is more important. You're going to be with them till the end of your life. Your kids are going to go off, and you're going to go, what happened here? That's a whole nother story. Be super attentive, not just when they're speaking, but be aware of what they're doing so you could take care of them. You could be there for them. Okay? Hear all these stupid things like, these people are too clingy, this is that. Forget all that stuff. You're with your soulmate. This is the one person in the world who you totally are connected with. Treat them that way. Be ultra attentive for the sake of love. Number 2. So that's about listening. Number 2 is about speaking. Speak like when you first met them. You never used a harsh word. You never criticized them. You barely complained to them, not only about them, but you didn't complain about anyone because you know that complaining is a drag. You know that when you complain, the old bitch and moan stuff, it just pulls people down. You were always upbeat and positive. So go back to that. That is a communication technique for marriage that is designed to keep that marriage on the high level. And when you keep your marriage on a high level, it keeps getting higher and higher and higher. This is one of the things people don't understand about marriage. You don't just get married and there it is. You need to cultivate your marriage. It gets better and better when you know what you're doing. Number 3, this is kind of a repeat. Listen like when you first met. Now, I'm going into this a little deeper because it's a little deeper. So, and by the way, the most important technique is the last one, but we'll get to that. So stay with me. So listening when you first met was, what do they really mean? What's the hidden message? What's the subscript? And you paid attention. And that's respectful, isn't it? And being respectful is an expression of love. So it really boils down to communicating with respect. You speak with respect, you listen with respect, you pay attention with respect and love. Number 4, and this is something that most everyone slips on. In fact, the number 1 killer of marriages, I'm going to slip this one in there, is what I call overfamiliarity, where you start taking each other for granted, including barely listening, barely paying attention to them. So what you're going to do now is you're going to go the other way. Everything they say is important. Now, it may not appear to be important to you at the moment, but treat it with how they are saying something that they thought it was important enough for them to say something to you. It's important. Pay attention to it. Don't poo-poo it. Don't ignore it. Don't quasi-ignore it. Address it. Now, it may just call for, oh, wow, or I hear you, or I got it. Okay, I never thought of it that way. There's a lot of ways of responding. But more important than your response is that you're hearing it as important. It's very important to hear it as important. Okay, number 5. Number 5 is cool. It's a little esoteric, but it's probably the most important of all communication techniques for marriage. And that is to saturate your communication with intimate love. Saturate your communication with intimate love. Don't just hear it, even if it's a business discussion, so to speak. Use it as a way of listening with love, responding up here with love, responding here with love, and if you have to say something back, say it with love. All of your communication in your marriage should be fully saturated with love. Does that require an explanation? I don't think so. You got married We all got married. Primary reason to be happy. We know that the one universal truth is that love always makes us happy, no matter what we're going through. If we feel love, it's okay. May not be perfect, but love is the panacea. Marriage is all about love, continual and ever increasing happiness by ever increasing love. Cultivate that love in your marriage. These techniques will help you immeasurably. So follow them. Write them down. I'm going to say them again so you could write them down. Number 1, be ultra attentive. Number 2, speak like when you first met. Number 3, listen like when you first met. Number 4, take what they say as important. And the 5th one, most important, is saturate all your communication with intimate love. Now, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. It helps the algorithm. More people will see it. Also, you'll get to see my other videos. We produce them every day. And leave a comment if you wish. Go to our website, see what all we have, and have the best marriage imaginable. It's in your hands. I'm Paul Friedman, founder of the Marriage Foundation. Thank you for stopping by. God bless you, and take care.